for Four Things First, a collection of things we saw, we loved, and Brandon, you love prime time.
Oh, man, I love this. Only Prime would arrive this way. I think LeBron tweeted out he looks like he's the prince coming to America. You know, this is amazing. But this is also amazing because this could potentially change the landscape of college football. I can see more players, more guys that have that type of star power, that charisma, going to a HBCU and competing with bigger colleges in that state for some of the top recruits. So if Prime goes in there and do a great job, this could potentially change the landscape of college football. You got to think, if you're in that state right now, you got to be like, I got to compete against Prime. Prime's going to be in the living room of some of these parents and these top athletes. This is a dangerous situation if I'm a coach in that state right now.
I wish he was playing. Kevin, Zay Jones on the hands team.
Okay. So, Jenna, I'm a big fan of celebrations. And if a wide receiver, how you reach out to Brandon for tips on, how to become a better player, reach out to me for celebration. Brandon, you can pass my number along. Because there's nothing I like least in this world than mimes. There's no reason to pantomime the hand sanitizer. You had an opportunity to stash a little hand sanitizer in your pants, take it out, and then you could have a T.O. Sharpie moment.
That's a penalty.
I don't care. It's an iconic moment. I know you can't stash a whole surfboard in the stands as you want to pretend to surf or a bowling ball, but you could certainly get some hand sanitizer, and they wouldn't penalize you. You'd be like, I'm being safe. What are you talking about? You're finding the coaches for wearing masks. You're going to fine me for hand sanitizer? It was a missed opportunity. Terrible decision by the Raiders.
All right, Nick, the rarely discussed GOAT debate.
Yeah, so listen, LeBron's about to win ring number 4. And I think that's going to reignite the greatest player of all time discussion. And so I think it's really important to get perspective from totally unbiased observers. Because you've got me on television, everyone's like, oh, you're in the tank for LeBron. Then you've got guys like Paul Pierce, whose entire career trajectory was ruined by LeBron, saying he's not even top 5. So let's get someone in the debate who has no ill will towards any party, totally neutral, unbiased. Enter Isiah Thomas. Isiah Thomas came out and said LeBron has a chance and he believes will become the GOAT, surpassing Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. So Isiah Thomas is saying Michael Jordan is not 1, not 2, but 3 on the all-time list, and LeBron is coming for the number 1 spot. And if there's anyone, Jenna, we can trust to be totally fair and balanced on any Michael Jordan discussion, it's my great friend Isiah Thomas. So good take by Z, and we need more of this in the coming days.
All right, Wake Forest played Duke yesterday, little women's soccer. I never understood the expression, the agony of defeat. All these years, I thought it was agony of defeat. It's actually the agony of the feet, as Tony LaDue's Wake's head coach gets his foot caught in a milk crate. Look, look at the girls on the team. They're obviously humiliated for him. But what does he do? I'm just gonna sit down, take a load off. I've been standing a long time. This is where I wanted to be. He plays the whole thing off like he doesn't have a gigantic, ill-placed milk crate on the sideline stuck to his feet. So my takeaway now that I know is the agony of the feet. Now I fully understand. All right. Let us take a turn, talk about what is going on down in Philadelphia. 2 games played, 2 games lost. A brutal one to division rival Washington, then a brutal one to the Rams at home. And it is hard, guys, not to place some of that blame on Carson Wentz. He's got a league worst 4 picks and a fumble. And then this from head coach Doug Peterson yesterday when asked about his starting quarterback. Take a listen.
In Carson's 5th year in the league and 5th year working with you, why are you seeing his production and his performance regress?
Progress?
Regress.
Oh, regress. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I did cut out there a second. It's a good question.
Wow.
Oof, terrible.
I said a lot without saying a lot. Nick, I'll start with you. What did you make of Doug Peterson's honesty there?
Oh, man.
Caught him off guard.
I love that. I loved it because Brandon, he betrays his whole feelings by his reaction when he thought the questioner said progress. He's like, wait, progress?
Yeah.
Oh, regress? Okay, we're on the same page here. Yeah. He's not as good as he used to be. All right, I just want to make sure we all agree here. He used to be awesome, and now he kind of stinks, and it bothers me too. And so this is the $128 million question for the Philadelphia Eagles. Brandon, what's happened to their quarterback? In 2017, he was an A-plus player until he got hurt against the Rams. In 2018, his numbers were good, but he only played 11 games, and they were 5-6 in those 11 games. So he was like a B-level player. Last year, he played the whole season, but didn't play very well. We blamed his receivers. He was like a B- C-plus player. This year, he's been a barely passing student at best. He already has 4 interceptions. The team has been outscored 64-19 over their last 91 minutes of football. And a lot of it, that interception we just showed, Brandon, was when they had come back in that game. They were down 5. Chance to take the lead, not that pick, but the one in the end zone. And he throws this pick in the end zone. Like, I don't know what's wrong with Carson Wentz, but he certainly is regressing, and his coach knows it.
No, I love the honesty, but I don't think that was smart for him to do that publicly. I think, he was being transparent. I think, a lot of people in that organization, from what I'm hearing, they don't really know. They don't know why things are shaping out the way they are. But when you really look at it, look at Carson Wentz. Is there some things he can change? Yes. From a fan's perspective, you can see that he's sloppy in the pocket. You can see that his base is wide at times, causing him to throw the ball high. But when you see the big picture, then you understand that it's not all on him. You look at the young, poor wide receiver play. You look at the veteran play, it's inconsistent. They lack effort at times in D-Jack, and then also Whiteside, you can say, is worse. Offensive line, they're banged up. He has 4 or 5 guys that's just banged up or not even in the lineup. Another guy added to IR. So as a quarterback, what you want when you drop back, or before you even drop back, when you get to the line, you want to get your team in the right play. You want to set the protection. Okay, I know my backside is covered. I know if this nickel and this wheel and this front side comes, my running back will pick that up, so I'm good there. So when I drop back, all I'm looking at is it 1 high or 2 high, 3 high, 4 high? Is it cover 8? And where do I go with the ball? And is my wide receivers getting their depth? Are they where they're supposed to be? So when you look at all of that, I'm not shocked that Carson is struggling next to him. So, of course, his feet is going to be sloppy in the pocket. And 2, he doesn't have good wide receiver play. So he's trying to do too much. I said it week 1. All you got to do is hand the ball off, settle this young man down, get this running game going so it can help this struggling quarterback and this struggling unit, because he's trying to do too much right now. But it's not just him. This is a unit issue, not a Carson Wentz issue.
So Brandon, you just did a better job than Doug Peterson did on the press conference. I totally agree with you that there's no reason for him to say anything but spread out the blame rather than put it all on Carson Wentz. Like Crossing Broad, because he's been bad. Crossing Broad put a big list of statistics up. I'll just read a few. QBR, 64, second to last. 6 yards per pass, only 3 QBs are worse. 59% completion percentage, 29th. 8 sacks, tied for most. 20 off target, tied for most. Yeek. But listen, if you're not going to